Here's a quick tutorial how to use all the features if you want to run a tournament, as we've discussed in the chat. And I just want to really say I'm really grateful for the input I've got from you. I really appreciate that because it helps me develop this application much better. So I've set this up to have 4 singles courts, and I'm going to go in here and set it up to have, I think you said 19 players at your end. So I'm just going to go from B to T here for the players, and then we're going to be logging the full scores, and you want to play your games to 11. Now, on the stats here, I'm just going to untick well, I can't untick the last one, but I'm going to basically go that the scoring is based on the total points won. That's all we care about. So if you play 11 to 5, if you're on the winning side, you get 11 points. If you play 5, you get 5 points. So that should really, as you've said, encourage users to fight for every point, even if they're losing. If you consistently play to 10 points, you're probably doing better than somebody who occasionally wins and then loses better. On the on-player chips show feature, so basically you can just show the player names, there's nothing. You can show these session statistics, which is how many games you've played. You can show the player rating. That's a sort of long-term rating where we work out the ELO-based score for every player. But in this case, I would recommend you use the rank and games. So you basically see 2 numbers. The first one is the rank of a player in the current league, and the second one is the number of games they have played. And with that, those are the critical ones. Actually, yes, leave the skill balance matchmaking off, because if you use that, stronger players will play stronger players, which wouldn't really be that fair for a tournament kind of session. Let's start the session. So we've got all these players, and we generate the first round. So this automatically gives you all the settings, and you can see here every player had no games played, so they don't have a rank yet, and they've basically got no games played. So no rank, no games. And we're going to start the first round. And you can see the pairings. And this already shows the first game played. So ignore the rank changes now. They're basically invalid at this point. I'll fix that as a bug. But if we log scores, we now call the first team winners. And then I give this one 1. And the next one, we call these the winners. And we give this one 2. We call the first side the winners again, give this one 3, and we call this the winners and give this one 4 points, and then we save this. And now you can say the first round is saved, so you can go see the details of the round. I haven't got any editing features for scores at the minute, so just please make sure you get those right. And then here you see the session statistics, where you see all the players who have played, with 11 points, and then 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. And we're just going to go right into the next round. And here is the editing feature. So if you get to the end of your games, it's probably worth to look at the sort of top 4, 5, maybe 10 players and make sure they've played the same number of games. So the app should always schedule players who haven't played a game, and you can see all the 3 players that didn't play a game in the first round, they're here. But I should always schedule them to have roughly even numbers of games anyway. So you shouldn't need to worry about it too much. But if you want to switch people, if for instance one player says, I absolutely hate to play with somebody else, you can switch players out. Just select a player and then select whoever you want to switch them out with, and it switches them around. And then here again, you go game start, and it will basically show you the timer for the second round. It will show you who's playing who. And then you go log scores. And we're going to go for the win again. And I'm just going to use the same logic here. Obviously, you might have different scorings. And now we're going to save that. And again, you can scroll down, look into the scores, so you can see there are 5 players now who've won 2 games. They're all on 22. Then you've got a couple with 15, a couple with 12, one with 11, and so forth. And at this point now, we're just going to generate the next round again. So in the next round, you see again how players are playing. You could at this point choose to switch somebody out if you want. So just select somebody here, and they're switched out. Again, you can see all the 6 players who only played 1 game so far, they're all scheduled to play again. And so yeah, that should hopefully work. Just go start game and log scores. We'll log again, save it, and now again you can see in here exactly who's been winning. So you've got now 2 players who've won all 3 games with 33 points, and the rest have increasingly less points. Now what we can do at this point is we generate the next round. And if you look at the next round preview, again, you can make swaps here. So if we look at our top 1 player, he's played 3 games so far, so that's fair. But then if we look down the list, you have a player who's ranked number 3, also played 3 games. So if this was your last round, you might want to make sure that this player is in the mix. And we can see here on court 4, we actually have got the 1st ranked, the 2nd ranked, the 4th ranked, and the 11th ranked player. So at this point, if this was your last game, it might be fair to just get them all together on one court so they can have the final deciding playoff here between them, and then literally start game, wait until the game is finished, log scores, and yeah, it's basically that process every time. If you've got any more questions, just let me know. You can also mark games if for any reason people don't want to record their scores, don't want to really play within the competition, you can mark them as not scored. Or if people dispute it, you can mark them as draw. That just wouldn't count, so it's not great, but yeah, if there are disputes, you can use it. Thanks.